Good day, perceptive readers. This is James, and welcome to this Telegram app moment. Today, I want to start off with the heading of cryptocurrency. This is not any financial advice. What I want to share with you, in this case, my view, I'm speaking from a total now perspective of professionalism, okay? James Poeartistry, if you will. PocbooksCrypto, if you will. PocbooksCrypto, if you will. So separate this from any, type of spiritual setting, even though, of course, it's an ethical reason and principle and structure actually based on what I'm about to say as far as the view on this matter of cryptocurrency. And the reason why I'm speaking about it now is because remember, there are actually states now, other countries who are writing in different policies, even maybe regulations, if you will, as far as how they're going to use it as a monetary or currency setting. All right. Now, with that, you have people looking at it on a positive side, but you also have people looking at it from a negative standpoint where they express all the, again, uh, uses for it. Some of it they don't, agree with or what have you. Okay. Keep this in mind though. Even with any type of monetary system or currency system, there are going to be ways that people actually use it, and it may not be the way that you use it, but hey, this is just their choice. I'm not getting into the ethics of it, or whether they're actually, using it in certain ways or not. The point is, you're going to have that with anything. Also, other persons talked about the viability, the long lasting, effect. Could this go on as a currency that would last forever and ever, so to speak? I'm just using that as an expression. And you heard me talk one time before on the Perceptive Readers podcast about the blockchain in general. Okay. Maybe I'll look that podcast up and put it on the homepage, just so you can get a few thoughts about that. But here is the point about any type of currency that people may use for this or that. And I want to use this example because remember I told you there are underlying principles and structures, the way that this even works to show that, hey, this is something that can be viable, period, because it is based on what I've said recently, whether there's a strong need for it, even wants are in there, and then the trust. So let me give you an example of that. All throughout the centuries, what have people used to get food and resources? They've used what? Trade and bartering systems. I've used the example of one of my one of my series that happened to do with Touchstone and what that meant and how that was used to verify, once again, the gold, the purity of the gold. Well, all the same, did everyone have gold back then in the olden days, century past? No. So how did they barter? How did they trade? How did they sell? See, some persons may end up going to the farmer's market, if you will, and having several items, several animals, whether they were pigs, chickens, or whatever you want to look at. And guess what? Somebody may have had a fruit cart or what have you, and they just, decided among themselves sometimes, hey, you give me that whole bushel of tomatoes, and hey, and I have these 3 or 4 sheep for you, or really chickens for you in that case. And see, we can see persons actually get those type of ideals or those balanced trading judgments and things of that nature that sometimes, even though I'm not going to go too deep into it, you can even look into the way that God had set up even a structure of forgiveness. What type of animals or even wheat and things of that nature could be used to cover over what was meant to be given to the temple for sins and for other things. But that's just a side thought. I use that as example, and I'm using this basic bartering and selling structure as an example to show you anything can be used, from cryptocurrency, paper, which has been used, real elements and minerals and things from out the ground. And how was it used? Because enough people were in place, you see, to set the guidelines and the structure and to build the trust in it, to say, okay, this is why we're using it. And see, and then when you look at all these other different cryptocurrencies out there and NFTs and things of that nature, quite a bit of Ethereum, I could go and name probably 20 more maybe. The way that I have a tendency to look at them sometimes is, hey, the same way you have a penny, the same way you have a quarter, the same way you have a dollar, and don't get me started going into the $100 bills, etc., etc. Well, yes, right now they may not all be uniformity, so to speak, and that's why you can see such things as almost like the trademark and the stock exchange that help to switch from here, and there. So it really does, again, boil down to what the need is, what the resources the people even have on hand that they can actually, transfer it or transmute it. And look, I'm talking chemistry here, but no, it's not really that. But I just wanted to use that, for the lack of a better word right now, to show that it's based on the confidence that the person, or in this case, since we're talking about trade and bartering, because it can just be two people. And it's like, hey, I got these, once again, products over here. I got, hey, this fruit over there. I got these trees over here. And they're able to still, make deals and be able to exchange for what they want and what they need. So that's why, I don't really knock anything of what somebody is doing. I've seen, or really, it's not that I've seen, it's just that I heard enough times where back then, remember when people used to read a lot in the early 1900s? And back then, what was a popular field to go in? Actually be salesmen for encyclopedias, all that knowledge of the world at their fingertips. Where these salesmen, they were going to different homes and farms, and guess what? They did not, these farmers, boy, they don't have a lot of money at all, but they sure had a lot of food. And so sometimes they could actually, just for one book, these persons could end up getting enough animals, or even a hen for the day, or whatever, eggs or whatever, where they were sustained for not only a day, but even for the rest of the week. So see, that goes to show you right there, trade and bartering. The need and want, the confidence in the system that you set up. And like I said, the confidence can begin with just two people, and don't let it start growing to 100. Don't let it start growing into 1,000. Don't let it get over 1 million. Does cryptocurrency already has an interest of one person, two persons, 1,000, 1 million? Well, that shows you right there the viability. You got something there. And if you already have countries, around the world already putting certain things in place, that tells you something right there. This was a PocbooksCrypto or Telegram app moment. Thank you for being here. You have a very wonderful Sunday.